Hi everyone, I know most people who check out these videos probably don't really have any faith in the voting system anyway, but I thought it might be interesting to discuss the election results, which at this time basically looks like a conservative win, but not by a large enough margin to prevent a hung parliament, which basically means all of the corrupt New World Order scum from the main three Lib Lab Con parties will get to collude on the future of Britain as we race into this post-democratic age. And that's not just an empty term, because I think the most important thing coming out of this election that can help wake the masses up is the vote fraud, which nobody in the mainstream really seems to care about. What's been going on most rampantly in the controversial Tower Hamlets region is completely made up people, and people not really allowed to vote through some corrupt means got themselves on the electoral roll. I don't know whether they have moles in the electoral roll who just put any old people on, or who's behind it exactly, but they've got themselves on the electoral roll and have used the postal voting service to vote illegally, meaning they don't actually have to turn up and get checked at the polling station. This is a major issue. Votes have been cast openly fraudulently, and they're just brushing it under the carpet. Oh, you know, there's a few investigations going on, but it's too late now, blah blah blah. It just doesn't make any sense. This is fraud. Now, normally postal votes are only allowed if you're elderly or disabled, or if you've actually got a good reason that you can't turn up to a polling station. But Labour, you know, the New World Order party, have opened it up for everybody, you know, which might have something to do with Labour still, after everything they've done, still coming in second in the election in the total amount of votes. Are people that brain dead that they're still voting for these criminals? Or is there some kind of massive fraud going on with these postal votes? Only time will tell, it seems. The second scandal, you can read all of this in a big write-up on wideshut.co.uk. The link is in the bottom bar. But the second scandal is that while this vote fraud was going on, legitimate voters, people that actually bothered to turn up and wanted to, you know, have their democratic freedom, were turned away at the door because they'd passed the 10 PM mark. Basically, they didn't accommodate for the amount of voters that turned up, so some people simply didn't get to vote. That's democracy for you. I mean, what's wrong with extending the voting for another day? The world's not going to fall off its axis. Absolutely ridiculous. But on a good note, our buddy Deke Jackson of FKN News actually got 57 votes and was filmed standing behind Gordon Brown with his fist in the air. And I reckon this might help wake at least a few people up, because thousands of people have already joined his Facebook group, one set up after this event by, you know, a completely random person that has no idea about any of this stuff. So 1,000 or so people now know who Deke Jackson is outside of his huge following already. So despite the whole system being a farce, I thought I'd point out how they're openly committing fraud and nobody seems to care.